The Dubai Creek Tower was supposed to be an unprecedented feat of architecture, standing 1,300 meters high in the air to beat the record from Burj Khalifa as the tallest structure in the world. Now, 6 years since the first day of its construction, the progress is at a full stop. Why? What happened with this mega project, and why, if it had laid its foundation, is there nothing being seen forward? First of all, in order to understand why Dubai Creek Tower came to a standstill, one has to get an idea about the grand vision conceived along with it. This wasn't just another skyscraper, far from it. This was Dubai's next landmark to keep ahead in its endeavors toward world leadership in record-breaking, highly futuristic architecture. Designed by Santiago Calatrava, the tower's shape was inspired by the desert lily, with a slim, tapering structure maintained by a network of steel cables. It is meant to echo the traditional Islamic architecture of a minaret in homage to the region's cultural heritage, while also pushing the boundaries of engineering. Dubai Creek Tower is supposed to form part of a mega development called Dubai Creek Harbor at 6 million square meters. For a viable, sustainable, future-proof city, this megastructure should be a beacon of green living, including solar power systems, greenery, and innovative techniques in water conservation. The goal? Creating a pedestrian-friendly city that can house more than 200,000 inhabitants and allow room for 450,000 people to live and work. This was not only supposed to be an engineering feat, but also one that was supposed to show the world where Dubai stands in terms of placement and financial stability. The world was running at a pace where every other city was trying to compete against each other for the tallest building. Dubai intended to stay ahead with the Burj Khalifa for a long period. Dubai Creek Tower was the answer, a thing that would outshine not just the Burj, but any future competitor. But now, as one may observe, the project is stuck in a time warp. What happened? Dubai Creek Tower was never meant to be a standalone structure, but formed part of the giant Creek Harbor mega development, the largest development ever, promising to be the future of urban living in Dubai. The harbor was supposed to be the very marriage of nature and mankind's existence. The design incorporated as much of the native life into the city by using eco-friendly solutions that reduce the impact that the environment will be exposed to. While commendable, this commitment to sustainability might also have been one of the causes of the delay. Projects such as Dubai Creek Harbor are enormous. The cost of compliance with modern green standards is very high, and these are costs that have kept growing with time due to new regulations and technologies to meet global environmental targets. That would mean the centerpiece for this eco-city, Creek Tower, was to be designed to these standards, adding a layer of complexity and expense to an already very expensive project. Just about as ambitious was the timeline for Creek Harbor, which was planned to realize in over a minimum of 20 years. Delays and changes were always going to be part of the timeline, but even with such a large window for completion, nobody could foresee it coming to an abrupt stop in 2018. With the partial realization of the master plan, the question was raised if it would ever do justice to its great potential. A major cause for the halt in construction of Dubai Creek Tower was due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, when economies and sectors came to a pause around the world. In fact, it has been said that right on the eve of the pandemic, developers were more or less set to seal a deal with a Chinese construction firm to take the project into its next phase. But then, COVID-19 went global and those plans fell apart. While the pandemic put a physical pause on all construction, it actually dramatically changed the economic landscape. Lockdowns and travel restrictions, along with the slowing worldwide economy, made it impossible to move forward with such a large-scale project. For months, construction sites around the world were abandoned, and Dubai Creek Tower was no exception. Even worse, supply chains around the world were disrupted, making it increasingly complicated to gain access to materials and labor for big projects. Besides, tourism and the real estate sectors were among the hardest-hit industries during the pandemic in Dubai, which is highly reliant on such economic activities. Such a mega project like Dubai Creek Tower will depend a lot on the vibrancy of these two sectors, especially tourism. To put it differently, the Burj Khalifa attracts millions to visit Dubai every year, hence boosting the GDP of the city. Since travel has come to a standstill and the recovery of the global economy has been very slow, the need to start building again at the Dubai Creek Tower is considerably reduced. Another important reason that delayed the project was the changes in economic policy that the government of Dubai and the entire UAE has gone through during the last few years. Traditionally, Dubai had been known for its tax-free business, attracting investors and developers from around the world in large numbers. However, from 2018 onward, the UAE introduced a value-added tax, a major step away from being a totally non-taxation country. In 2021, a corporate tax was levied, which further complicated the financial arrangements that Dubai-based businesses needed to negotiate today. These new taxes made doing business in the UAE more expensive and complicated, adding an additional financial burden on multi-billion-dollar developments such as Dubai Creek Tower. The tower, which was originally budgeted with a cost of $1 billion, became much costlier once the tax changes and other new regulatory requirements came into effect. Taxation made it less lucrative for investors to sink money into high-risk projects such as a super tall skyscraper. Add to this the oversupply of real estate in Dubai, and you will certainly know what the problem is. Indeed, there is a surfeit of empty office space and apartments in the city because of the sudden interest in remote working. With fewer demands for commercial and residential, Emaar Properties, which is behind Dubai Creek Tower, had to struggle in selling enough units to ensure cash flow that could fund such a huge project. One of the more interesting aspects of the story about Dubai Creek Tower is its sister project down the road. Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower is another competitor for the world's tallest structure. First proposed as a building that would be over a kilometer high, work on the Jeddah Tower began in 2013, just a few years before Dubai Creek Tower got underway. However, work on the Jeddah Tower thus far also stopped because of several issues, including political turmoil and disputes over labor. Some have even taken it so far as to say that Dubai is essentially in wait-and-see mode, observing any progress on the Jeddah Tower before it decides what to do with its own building. As long as Burj Khalifa remains the world's tallest building, there isn't immediately any pressure on Dubai to complete Creek Tower. If Jeddah Tower stays stuck, Dubai may feel a lot less motivation to restart its own construction. Although there is no word officially that Dubai Creek Tower has been cancelled, most everything points to the fact that it is currently in limbo. In 2022, Emaar Properties took full control of Dubai Creek Harbor, buying out its former partner Dubai Holding, a move which would indicate the company still has long-term plans for the area. Yet with so many factors, economic, environmental, and logistical, working decidedly against it, the future of Dubai Creek Tower remains up in the air. Its foundation, 3 giant concrete piles underpinned by the greatest steel cable network to date, stands monumentally for the giant ambitions that came before. Whether those ambitions are ever realized, or if Dubai Creek Tower becomes a what could have been, largely depends on the way the global economy and the construction trend go over the coming years. Meanwhile, Dubai is waiting and watching, as is the rest of the world.